Well, what's up, viewers? How you doing? My name is Terran. I'm a recent homeless person living in the Salvation Army. Story is crazy. Like it's a
How old
story
are
of a
you,
book.
Terran?
I'm 44
Go ahead.
years old. Be 45 November this
Okay.
year.
Continue with your story, please.
Yeah, well, for starters, originally I'm from New Jersey. Moved from Jersey to Atlanta, and then moved from Atlanta to here. But my story started 2 weeks prior to me moving to Orlando. I had a job lined up. The lady at the company of the job told me I had the job before I got here. So I already set things up in the play of getting an Airbnb for a place until I move into my apartment. Supposedly, quote unquote, had a job, the lady told me, 2 weeks prior for me moving. So I already had things lined up, what I was gonna do, already set in stone. So I didn't want to move here on a what if. So I moved here going through the right steps. I know a lot of y'all can relate to that because that's most of the time the way to go. Sometimes people just go on a limb and just say, I'm going to go just do it. Whatever last check I have, I'm going to go do it. But I decided to do it that way as a plan. But, you know, sometimes plans in your favor can change.
But what happened?
Well, for one, a week prior to me moving here, the lady who told me I had the job moved she moved to another state and got another job without informing me.
Well, why's she gonna
So-
tell you that?
Well, for one, I don't know her story. That's on her, whatever
What's her
she
name?
had going on.
What's her first name?
It's not important. It's the point of the lesson. You know what I'm saying? The lesson about it is that what am I going to do to get back on track? Well, this is what I did. I didn't complain about it. For one, I didn't cry about it. I didn't pout about it. I just said, okay, I need to focus. Because if you have and understand, a lot of people need to know this. If you don't have a clear mind, you can't think. If you have a cluttered mind and you're upset, you can't think straight. You start to be all over the board. I look at it as things, when I make moves, I be strategic and I want it to be a chess move, not a checker. So
What's your favorite recreational drug?
I don't smoke or drink. End of story.
You snort cocaine?
None of that.
You shoot heroin?
None of that, man.
All right, continue. I'm sorry.
You
You got kids?
get back on track. No kids.
Your parents alive?
Yeah, my mom.
Talk
she
to your
in
mom.
Atlanta,
Send a
Atlanta.
message to your mom right now. Talk
Well,
directly.
let me finish
go
the
ahead.
story. Let me
Go
finish the
ahead.
story. All right, the story. I got here a week after. Once I got here, I found out the lady told me that the person who had my job started a week prior for me to moving here. When I got here, I found out about it. And the lady told me there's nothing she can do, who took the other lady's position. I said, well, the lady told me I had the job. It's in documentation. I could show you emails, text messages, everything. Well, she said in her position, and the person who hired her position can't do nothing about it because it's already been set. So that was the turning point of me being homeless. I ain't know nothing about Florida, nothing about Orlando. So now I'm figuring out, am I gonna go back trail to Atlanta or stick it out? I said, you know what? Let me think about it. So I took a good couple hours to focus and not get upset and do something stupid. So I did that, and then got a few calls for second and third and fourth opinions of what should I do. They all said the same thing with the same conclusion I came to. I'm here, make the best of it. Even though that happened, things happen. Okay, so I'm gonna say, okay, well, now, since I got my thoughts together, I'm not clear-minded, I'm gonna get the refund of the Airbnb, which they don't do that, but I told them my story and they understood and then gave my refund back. So that money had to last me till I find a different job, which the job took about 2.5, 3 weeks to get me a full-time job. So in the meantime, I was doing the day-to-day labor, which wasn't enough. Because once you do day-to-day labor, you're not saving nothing. You're spending stuff every day. So it's hard to save. Even if it's $5, something comes up that you got to do. You got to get on the bus if you don't have a car or nothing like that. So I had to analyze all of that into one thing, what I'm going to do. So I said, then after that, I was literally on the street. Like I said, I didn't know nobody or nothing. So I'm doing all for this stuff. I'm freestyling everything. I'm just going of what if, how should I do it like that? Just networking, talking to people. And when I'm in certain spots that the homeless people be at, some people will go there and, give you food, clothing, or whatever. So that's how I was gaining more and more confidence that, okay, there's people out here that helps out. Because like I said, I didn't know this state at all. I ain't know nothing, or where the resources or nothing, or if they had resources or nothing. So everything was based on word of mouth. So from that point, I was meeting more and more people, then getting to more and more churches to help out, where to go, where to find clothing, shelter, and all that. Fast forward to a couple of my friends got off the street. A lady came downtown when I wasn't there, when I was at the library. They gave me information that they found a lady that helped them out and got them in off the street into shelter. So I got recommended into the Salvation Army. Prior to that, I went to Salvation Army, called them and went there. Another thing I didn't know, to get in programs like that, you need to be recommended. It's not if you walk in there, they give you a bed, which is understandable, because they're trying to make it to the point of they don't know nothing about you going in there. They don't know if you just shot up dope. They don't know none of that. They don't know if you talk to anybody. They don't know none of that. So if you talk to a social worker or somebody that's recommending you through the city, then at least you don't talk to them about your situation to the point where, okay, they understood and they can help you because they're partners with people like that. Then you come off the street and they don't know nothing about you. So they're not gonna risk that. So from that point, back to on track of the story, I got in the program. Now I can clearly think now, because now I have a place over my head. Before, I couldn't think because you out here, you don't know what you're gonna do. All the things you gotta do in one day, it's kind of hard to think because you gotta find somewhere to go think, like a library or a gas station or something to think what your plan is throughout the day. So from that point, now I'm in there. Now 3 days after the fact, I talked to my caseworker. Well, she been good for me ever since I met her. Now, like, the things she's doing for me now, my progression now. But let me go back. From that point, she told me about this program, about how they can help you get housing if you still in the program of the Salvation Army. So I took that, and from this point now, I've been there for a good over 3 months now. So their program is they give you 90 days to be in there. After that, they could choose to give you extended if your progression is something that they're looking at in the program. If you're doing other stuff, not checking in twice a week about having a job or what you're doing throughout your day, they kick you out. If you miss 3 bed checks, they kick you out. So it's certain things. You gotta be in there a certain time. Like you gotta be there at 9 o'clock. You gotta be in your bed for them to count you in your bed. If you don't have a job or something like that, or if they write you off as you're not here and they give the bed to somebody else. So which it's a part of the rules, which is understanding because it's beneficial. You know what I mean? Everything got rules.
People just going out and partying there.
Exactly. They don't know, right? Because you can say anything, but they don't know what you do when you go out there. But if you got something that's stating that you have a job, it shows more improvement of what you're doing. They can look at that than you saying, "Yeah, I'm going out the street," and wind up going out and panhandling and come back. You ain't really progressing from that point. You're doing the same thing. You're just using them for a bed instead of trying to grow from that. So that's how they look at it. And then from that point, Now 3.5 months in, going on 4. My 5th month, I should be getting my apartment.
When was the last time you were arrested?
2018.
Was it a battery charge?
Yeah. Family battery, which I don't call it family battery, but the state of Georgia do. And what happened was, I was charged with family battery for beating up my mom's husband for putting his hands on my mom.
Let's end this segment of the interview, and we're gonna come back and hear about. I want to hear the whole story about this arrest. Okay?
Yeah.
So we're gonna come back and stay tuned, YouTube viewers. We're gonna touch base with him on his arrest in Georgia, family battery, his mom's husband.